Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. Well, dear friends, this is one of those cases where it doesn't even make sense to tell you that part 1 of episode 70 was legendary and epic. You've all seen it and know how much interesting stuff happened. However, the thing is that because part 1 is 4 minutes long, you probably missed a lot of secrets and details that are crucial to fully understanding what happened. For example, have you ever wondered why the Astro Skibidist killed his own ally without even blinking? Or why did this Astro Skibidist return Titan TV Man's sword back instead of taking it with him? And what are people doing there, especially that person in the car? And of course, what are those 2 ghosts that Plungerman saw in the elevator? And are they even ghosts? You'll get answers to these and many other questions today, so watch from beginning to end without skipping, and let's break the record today. As soon as we reach 1,000 likes in honor of episode 70, I'll immediately make another video with new details that no one suspects. And now let's start the breakdown itself. The episode begins with 2 agents, one of whom throws a toilet paper grenade inside the base. As you may remember, I already mentioned that the grenade inside it is from Half-Life 2, and it turned out to be true, although back then I wasn't very sure about it. But that's not all. You can notice the sign, "No Smoking," indicating that there's something explosive behind that door. By throwing the grenade in, the agent initiates a domino effect, likely leading to a fierce fire and explosions, which we can see. Next, we see the use of the blue flamethrower, which essentially differs from a regular flamethrower only in color. Then we see a reference to Gordon Freeman from Half-Life, who, unfortunately, immediately dies from a lethal shot. And the other agent, missing half of his arm, miraculously survives, but after 3 seconds, the Skibidi Rocketeer catches up and kills him too. What's interesting at this moment is that on the right, you can see a dead person. And the most interesting thing is that there are still traces of blood, indicating that he was killed very recently. On the left, in the car, you can see the silhouette of a person, but I think this person is also dead. And judging by the color, he burned alive. Well, what can I say, poor guy? I already commented on the appearance of human skeletons back in episode 69, but this time the situation is slightly different. These deaths are more recent, so the fact that we'll soon see real living people, apart from Dafuk Boom, after 60-something episodes is very cool. And I'm preparing a special video to tell you more about it. So, subscribe to the channel not to miss it. After all, according to statistics, more than half of the viewers watch me without subscribing. Let's correct this misunderstanding together. Just hit the subscribe button. Now let's talk about our POV cameraman, specifically about his plasma gun. It reminds me of the plasma gun from GTA 5. Perhaps Dafuk Boom was inspired by it when creating this weapon. And like in GTA, this plasma gun is very powerful in the series too, holding it on an opponent for a couple of seconds, and they immediately die. And considering that the color of the laser itself is red, it's likely the same technology that Titan Speakerman has. Next, we see a dam and a secret entrance to the laboratory, from which a massive number of Skibidi armored toilets emerges. Our POV cameraman has already relaxed a bit and was waiting for his teammates to join him in killing these armored creatures and entering the base. But suddenly another Skibidi Rocketeer attacks, almost hitting us. However, we successfully evade it, and during the flight you can notice the sign High Voltage and a crossed-out hand. So, most likely, this is the power station that absorbs energy for the entire laboratory of Skibidi Toilets. And perhaps someone broke this station when Plungerman and the survivors were in the elevator, causing the lights to go out, and the elevator stopped moving at the end of this part. After that, the POV cameraman tries to destroy one of the armored Skibidi, but he fails, and the plasma gun malfunctions due to overheating. The Skibidi, in turn, reveals its shields, and we see its face. I've already talked a lot about him when we saw the leaked frame with him, but here we can additionally notice huge lasers, just like G-Man's. I think during the interview with all the laboratory employees, G-Man discussed exactly this, and after the agents invaded the base, they decided to quickly produce the same lasers as G-Man's and distribute them to everyone, including the armored Skibidis. By the way, Skibidi Toilets were preparing for this, apparently, even before the invasion. Remember episode 68 when we saw Skibidis with toxic barrels? So these same Skibidis attacked Titan Speakerman now. Considering their speed in mass-producing new fighters, I think it's not surprising where they have so many identical Skibidi toilets coming out of the secret entrance. While I was telling you about the toilet factory, Titan Cameraman comes to visit us and damn well knocks down the dam along with all the armored freaks. However, a couple of armored freaks were lucky as they were at the edges of the dam, avoiding the direct hit. They were about to rejoice when Titan, using new powerful shoulder cannons, finishes them off. By the way, the shot technique itself resembles the plasma gun of the POV Cameraman, only in an enlarged size and in blue. Later, we see that a Skibidi 4 laser was watching Titan. He already wanted to kill the cameraman when TV Titan appears and decides to send him to the afterlife in the toilet paradise. Or toilet hell. I don't know how they have it all arranged. By the way, he made the strike using the teleport of his hand, just like he did in episode 68. Together with him, our beloved Titan Speakerman flies, who shakes off the fire, and TV Titan tells him, "Do it quick!" So, before they arrived here, they had already fought somewhere. TV Titan liked how Speakerman fought, and finally, he provides him with energy, as he did to Titan Cameraman back then. Now it became clear why he didn't do it right away. The thing is, when the cameraman received the jetpack and guns, they didn't light up, so he simply lacked energy to fly. In Speakerman Titan's case, he had no such problem. So the additional energy is only needed for him in critical situations. Look at how he's shaking. It's evident that his batteries can't hold such a high voltage for a long time. And that's why he almost immediately starts killing everyone in sight. He emanates power as strongly as motivation emanates from me when you hit the like button. Even the toilets are in shock and weren't ready for this. First, he shouts, like the goat from the meme. Then he takes aim and shoots everyone from a distance. Realizing that energy is slowly depleting, he soars like an eagle towards the enemies to give each one an individual punch. Then with his laser, he draws a huge peep on the floor. Here you can come up with what he's drawing. After that, he suddenly remembers that he always dreamed of being a flashing light. And by the way, killing anyone who doesn't like his drawings. You could say he killed 2 birds with 1 stone. After this entire overdose, he finally calms down and decides to sit as he has spent all the extra energy. By the way, this moment is a reference to episode 58. Only there he was shooting with his cannons and here with his core. The toilets themselves were ordinary rocket launchers back then, but now Skibidi suicide bombers are coming against him. Therefore, they needed to be killed quickly before they reached him. What Speakerman did was perfect. The additional energy, as we understand from the Titans, works wonders, and it's a very cheaty thing, but it looked very spectacular. Even TV Man himself liked it so much that he gave it a 10 out of 10, and a Roblox emoji appeared on the screen, which we had only seen in the leaked meme before. Meanwhile, the Titan Cameraman managed to grab a new gun for himself from one of the falling Skibidists, while Speakerman was killing everyone. This time, his hand can shoot poison. He's been changing these hands as accessories, and it's cool. It will be interesting to see what he'll wear in the future. Suddenly, an upgraded Skibidi DJ bursts onto the battlefield, whom we last saw in episode 6. By the way, he has the right taste. I would invite such a DJ to my event, but it turns out that the Astro Skibidist didn't like him, and he just took and divided him into 3 parts. The Astro Skibidist himself is some kind of boss, or at least one of the main figures in this race. Since in episode 60 we saw another Astro, although he looks similar, this one is much stronger and larger. What surprised me the most is that he speaks in normal human language. Not skibidi, but straight-up normal words, and his head doesn't shake like others. It's evident that the appearance of Astro Skibidists is of a much higher status. I felt very sad when I looked more closely at the last emotions of our DJ. Look at how sad he is. In essence, he didn't touch anyone even in episode 6 and just enjoyed himself. Probably these are the kinds that the Astro toilets don't like. They make everyone kill people, and that's their main evil. Skibidists simply don't have another choice. They either have to kill or the Astro toilets will kill them themselves. That's why their heads shake, and they speak only one word. It's just a direction of mental illness from the situation itself. This explains G-Man's pressing in episode 60 when he ran away from the battle in episode 57, and it explains why the DJ died. Of course, after seeing all that, everyone wanted to kill this creature. The Titan cameraman took the first step, but unsuccessfully. The Astro toilet not only managed to catch the shot, but also successfully threw it back. Don't forget that he's super fast, so it's expected that he can't be defeated with a regular shot. And then, the TV Titan himself takes a shot. After the Astro boss dodged the laser, the TV Titan says these words, "Who the f*** you think you are?" I don't know about you, but I burst out laughing when decoding his phrase. TV Titan acts like an aggressive schoolboy. Okay, if without jokes, we see another attempt at an attack, and again, unsuccessfully. By the way, he made the attack in response to the words, "You all will die." And I'll repeat, Astro said this not in reverse, not in the language of aliens, not in the Skibidi Toilet crap language, not in hints. He said it in regular human language. This is a real discovery for the series. Finally, normal speech. We hope to see more of this in the future. And we smoothly come to the answer to the question from the beginning of the video. Why did he give the TV Titan's sword back instead of taking it with him? The answer lies in his attitude. He is so confident that all agents are doomed to die that he doesn't even try to fight them or take anything from them. He smirks, kills toilets in his path, says he wants and is not afraid to stand in front of 3 Titans. And he doesn't even try to hit the TV man because he's super fast. Theoretically, he could have quickly run to the mountain and thrown the sword right into his back so he wouldn't react by covering it with his hand. After all this, TV Titan shows those evil emojis that we've already seen in the leaks. And once again, the color of the emojis is green here. Dafuk is definitely somehow involved. I hope that in the second part, they will reveal this and show the secret agent. After all this, 3 women come and all 3 have upgrades. Speaker Woman has 4 knives, which she's ready to throw into the enemy's eyes at any moment, as well as a jetpack and 2 swords on her back. Camera Woman got guns on her hands and also a jetpack. Well, TV Woman only got a jetpack, but it's better than nothing. And POV Cameraman points with his finger, indicating that they need to enter the laboratory, which they successfully do. After that, we shift to Plungerman's team, straight into the elevator, and our POV Cameraman is now Plungerman. I remind you that there are only 5 surviving agents, including Plungerman, and we see them all in front of us. However, in reality, there are 7 of them. This is the most interesting and mysterious moment. But now I will tell you what is happening here. First, we hear a loud crash. It became clear that someone fell on the elevator. But after that, the light completely goes out, and the agents find themselves in complete darkness. But it turns out that they had flashlights under their heads all this time, which turned out to be very useful this time. However, at one moment, on the right and left of the dark speaker man, you can notice the twin cameramen who died in the previous episode because of Skibidi Jackson. And you might ask, what is this? Are they ghosts? Maybe it's a hologram? Or a new technology? But in reality, the answer is simple and brilliant. One of my viewers with the nickname Medomento suggested that these are Plungerman's hallucinations, and besides these twins, no one sees them. But why? To understand this, let's remember the circumstances under which these agents died. In episode 69, the doors were closing, and Plungerman asked Dark Speakerman not to close them so that the twins could survive. But Dark Speakerman, being a realist and understanding that if he didn't close them, everyone would die, did it, not listening to Plungerman. That's why he has this lingering feeling, and he feels guilty for the death of these poor guys because he didn't stop the Dark Speakerman then. Everyone understands that the Dark Speakerman was more right in this situation. But Plungerman received a very strong psychological blow then, and it's more of an emotional dislike due to the loss of the twins. By the way, as you can notice, the Dark Speakerman almost all the time looks at Plungerman. He seems to be empathizing with Plungerman after those blows. And at the very end, someone wants to break the elevator roof and infiltrate the agents, and part 1 ends here. Who could it be? I will tell you in the next part of the analysis. So, like to reach 1,000 likes, and subscribe not to miss my future videos on the Skibidi Toilet topic. That's all for now. Watch my other videos if you haven't seen them. This was Iron Cameraman with you. See you in the next videos.